This is Lachlan's Mewtwo binder, and it's missing just a few cards before we complete the entire English set. So over the next 2 days, I'm gonna be headed to Collecticon in Charlotte to see if I can finish this thing out. And one of those cards is going to be nearly impossible to find. We are only 24 cards away from completing Lachlan's binder, and that's including one of the rarest Mewtwo cards ever printed. So let's take a real quick look at some of the biggest hits that we're still missing. So we are missing the first edition base set Mewtwo, as well as the first edition Rockets Mewtwo, and that is just the start. The next one's a doozy. It's the first edition Shining Mewtwo. This one is gonna be tough. We also have a handful of Expedition cards to find, but I think the reverse holo number 20 is gonna be the hardest of those. And then finally on this page, we have to find the Rockets Mewtwo promo winner. Some of these last cards, I don't think are gonna be that hard to find. Like the Legends Awaken card, we shouldn't have a hard time finding it. We also shouldn't have a hard time finding this next Destinies card. But the Rumble Mewtwo, that one's gonna be tricky. I can't even remember the last time I saw a Rumble card. So I know this one's gonna cause some problems. The Legendary Treasures Mewtwo shouldn't be that hard either. In this XY promo, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And the Evo Stamp Mewtwo is another one I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm worried we're gonna have to get one that's been slabbed and then break it out. And the rest of these really should be pretty easy to find. The only thing that's gonna be hard is swallowing that price tag for both of the Mewtwo and Mew cards from Unified Minds. I have been to a ton of card shows here locally, and I knew that Collecticon Charlotte was gonna be big, but I had no idea it was gonna be this big. The number of vendors here is overwhelming. This is gonna be tough. So I'm walking around, I'm trying to get a feel of the place and get a lay of the land, and I realized very quickly I'm gonna need a plan of attack. And then all of a sudden, I run into somebody I know from back in Nashville. So me and Michael catch up for a minute, I see how they're doing, and then he takes a look at our Mewtwo list to see if he has any of the cards that could potentially help us get one crossed off the list. Unfortunately, they don't, so now we gotta keep on moving. So I think my first plan is gonna be to just try to find some Mewtwo's, and I've brought my trade binder with me. So I'm just gonna see if I can do some trades and knock some of these out. So I've got my Mewtwo sheet that's got a picture of all the cards that I need. I hand it off to this guy to see if he has any of the cards we're looking for. And then this guy over here starts taking some interest.
Mega Mewtwo full art here.
Oh, you got that one? Okay.
I think I had the other.
Is that one on there?
Yes, full art, yeah.
Yes. All right. So two. Well, I definitely want these two.
Okay.
Do you do trades or cash, or how do you?
I mean, I always willing to look.
Okay.
You have, so yeah.
So this is my first time actually showing someone my trade binder, and I'm a little bit nervous. So let's see how this goes.
Oh yeah, this is like, honestly, like you went above and beyond and doing this because like it helps the vendor a lot.
Well, I was taking my son because my son's is the one completing the Mewtwo binder, and so we're standing there for like 30 minutes at each table, and he's 6.
Yeah.
So he's like, what's going on, man? Let's keep this moving. I'm like, all right, I gotta figure out how to make this go quicker for him.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Is anything off limits in the binder?
There's nothing off limits.
Okay,
Everything in there is up for grabs.
Cool.
Perfect.
Just do a general spread.
All right, so this is the first trade to get these two Mewtwo's. So 2 down. All right.
It's a solid start for sure.
I know.
Or I don't open any cards, but then I do try to post on YouTube. So yeah. Stickers and a little bit.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So the first trade was a huge success. We were able to pick up 2 Mewtwo cards that we needed plus $900. But that trade took forever, and if I have any hope of collecting all of these Mewtwo's, I'm gonna have to switch up my tactics just a little bit. So I think the best plan of attack now is gonna be take some of my graded cards, sell them for cash, and then just find the cards I need and try to work out a deal that way. After looking through a few booths, I see the Mewtwo EX from Ruby and Sapphire. It's graded, but right now, I don't care. I'll have to bust it out of the slab later. Also, this booth has a sign that says they buy slabs too. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to try to pick up another Mewtwo on our list and trade some of the slabs for cash. So I hand over a stack of my graded cards, and he looks through them and picks out which ones that he wants to buy. This was an insanely popular booth, so this process took forever because he kept getting interrupted. But in the end, it was worth it. I picked up one more Mewtwo card that we needed and $8,300. So now we are armed to do some damage on this list. And the Mewtwo hunt continues, and at the very next table that I walk past, I spot a reverse holo Mewtwo from Expedition, so I picked it up. And then when I leave that table, I look up and who do I see? A real life Eevee. And as much as I want to follow that guy around for a while, I have to focus back on the Mewtwo mission. And this place is starting to get really packed. Then I came across this table that had so many Mewtwo's, it was insane. But we only have a few left to go, so they only had one Mewtwo that I needed, so we picked up the Mewtwo black and white promo and moved on. Okay, so I had to stop at this table to admire these two cards, but I can't get distracted. After I finish my mission, I'm definitely going to come back and check on these. And we just keep finding them. At this table, we picked up the ultra rare Mewtwo from Legends Awakened. And then there was this table, the table of all tables. I have never seen so many gold stars and shining cards in the same place at the same time. It was incredible. And on top of that, all of them were in light play condition or better. And then right past this table of Labubus, we found one of our grail cards. You are not gonna believe what it is. And I'll be honest, I had been avoiding this table because it was right next to the Labubus. But there it was, the Shining Mewtwo First Edition. It was a little overpriced, and he would not budge. But I just had to pull the trigger. I was really worried that I would not find another one and this one would get scooped up. And just when I thought I couldn't get any luckier, I look just a few tables down from the Shining Mewtwo and I find another one of our grail cards, the First Edition base set Mewtwo. We have hit the sweet spot. This was one of 3 cards I was not sure we were going to be able to find. And since it's graded in a slab, it looks like we're going to have to do a slab busting party when we get back to Nashville. There are still so many cool things that I want to check out here other than just cards. But they just made the announcement that everyone needs to close out whatever deal they're working on and start heading to the exits. So let's get out of here and see how we did. Collecticon Charlotte was more than I could have ever hoped for. The hunt, the chase, the experience of just talking with other vendors and people who love Pokemon, especially Mewtwo, as much as me and as much as Lachlan. So great success. And we got a lot of the cards that we needed, maybe even all of them. So let's look at what the pages look like now compared to what they looked like before we went to Collecticon. Because when I give this binder back to Lachlan, I think his mind is gonna be blown. So here's how we did. This binder is more than just a collection of cards, it's a story. And it's one that I hope that as Lachlan gets older and we find more characters that he falls in love with in Pokemon, and we go to complete those master sets, that we can also share with you. And fortunately, they're gonna continue to print even more Mewtwo's for future sets. So the binder is just gonna keep going. So thank you guys so much for following us on this journey. We appreciate every single one of you, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye.